So now I'm going to share with you the simple goal setting system that allowed me to go from 0 to more than 100K a month, even reach $10,000 days. And this is something that you can replicate and apply to any business that you're in. It doesn't matter if it's SaaS, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, a personal brand, SMMA, or whatever. It works for everything. And in fact, I would argue that you can apply this system to any area in life, okay? Not just business. And this way of framing goals that I'm about to teach you works so well because it's naturally aligned with how your brain is wired to function and do problem solving. Because if you think about it, achieving a goal is solving a problem. So if, for example, you want to make 100K a month, what you're doing is solving the problem, the equation of how to build a business that allows you to do that. So the whole thesis behind my goal setting system is that your brain functions best and is very efficient at solving problems when the thing it has to solve is right in front of you. Your brain is really, really bad at solving things that might come in 3 months or 6 months or 1 year from now. It's horrible at doing this because your brain only exists right here in the present moment, in the now. And it is the only place and time where it can take action on things that have an impact today, tomorrow, or this week at most. That's why there's a lot of things that a lot of people never achieve, like getting in shape or making 100K a month, because your brain looks at that, which we can call point B, and then it looks at where it is now, which is point A, and it just doesn't know how to make this jump to, as I was saying, something that might come like a year or 6 months from now. Because getting in shape in 1 year from now or reaching 100K a month are not actionable things that you can do today. And even though your brain is analyzing and thinking and working on this goal right here, what happens is that it kind of gets stuck, it gets paralyzed. And this is where a lot of people just get stuck in this aimless limbo. And they either procrastinate or they do some things, but maybe it doesn't quite work. Maybe they're half doing it, or maybe they're a little bit all over the place. There's no structure, no cohesion, no results. So what I recommend you to do, and this is what I've done with almost all the businesses that I've had, is to scrap point B, okay? Just throw it out the window. And let's say that you are right here at point 1, okay? Step 1. And then, yeah, for sure, there is something that you want to reach. Let's call this 5.0. When you are here, the only goal, the only mission that you should feed your brain, that should occupy like 95% of your mental bandwidth, is this goal right here, which is 1.01. That's the only thing that you should have in your head. And then once that is done, then you can move right here to 1.02. And then you do that, and then it's 03 and 04 and 05. Do not have the 5.0, which in this case would represent the 100K a month, be the main thing that you have in your brain. You always have to keep it right here at the thing that is actionable today. So to translate this whole thing into real life examples so you can clearly understand what I'm talking about, let me explain to you how I did this when I wanted to start with e-commerce many years ago, and I only had like $500 in my bank account. I just had dropped out of college and I had to figure out a way to make money and to have some success. So when I wanted to embark in this thing, in this journey, instead of focusing so much on, oh, I want to make 100K a month or 10K a month or 50K a month or whatever, the way I framed it is, as I was explaining before, the first goal and the major goal that I had at the beginning was just to create a Shopify store. Honestly, like that's the only thing that I had on my head when I started out. I was not thinking about all the big numbers. I just wanted to create a Shopify account, figure out how the platform works, play around with it, and then I discovered things like, oh, I can customize the code, I can install some apps to make the store better, right? There's a lot of things that you can do with Shopify, and I just figured out the platform, and then I had the goal of just creating a really cool e-commerce store. Then once I had done that, then I moved to, as I said before, 1.02. which in this case was figuring out how does Facebook ads work. And same thing, it was like, okay, let me create a business manager. Let me see how this thing works. How does the targeting work? How can I create my campaigns? How does the pixel tracking work? Like all of these things related to Facebook ads. And then once I did that, the next goal became 1.03, which is like, okay, let me launch my first campaign. So let me have my first product and I will run some ads to it and let's see what happens. So I did that. Got no results. I made 0 sales. So then the next goal became, okay, how do I make my first ever sale? My first ever dollar online? How do I do that? And the thing is that when you frame things this way, your brain goes into hyper efficient problem solving mode, because all of these things are things that you can take action on today, that you can figure out today or tomorrow or this week. Your brain knows exactly what is it that it has to do to at least attempt these things. If you've never done it before, or it's your first time, or you've never even done like 10K a month before, you cannot just start something and make your brain figure out how to make 100K a month. And you cannot do that today. But what you can do today is to figure out how can I make one single sale today or tomorrow. So eventually I did that. I did my first ever sale. And then the next goal I had became, how can I make a few sales here and there? I'm not even talking about one sale a day, just like maybe a total of 10 sales. How can I make 10 sales sales total. So then I tried, I eventually hit that, I achieved that goal. Then it became, okay, how can I now make 1 sale per day? And then once you hit that, that's when the money goals started. That's when you begin with the whole, let's figure out how to make $100 per day. And then I hit that goal and it became 200 per day. Then it was 500, then it was 1K, then 2K, then it became 5K, and eventually even more than 10K per day. And the reason why this works so well, this way of framing goals, is that, for example, if you're right here making 1K per day, it is way easier for your brain to figure out how to make 2K per day than 10K per day. Even if this is what you eventually want, the only thing that you should be focusing on right now is this, the next immediate step of doing 2K. And the truth is that the things you have to do to get to 10K per day involve the same things that you have to do to go from 1K to 2K per day anyways. So going from 1 to 2 is what will teach you how to eventually get to 10. And the major benefit of framing your goals this way, as for example, if right now you're only making 1 sale per day and you want to figure out how to make $100 a day consistently, the benefit of that becoming your sole obsession in your brain is that once you hit these goals, you gain an immense sense of satisfaction when you do so. And you're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be a blast. And this is what allows you to build unstoppable momentum. And this whole thing just becomes a game of doing more and more and more. Meanwhile, I've met a lot of people who are so fixated with the end goal of 100K a month that as they go along this journey and they hit their milestones of launching their first ad campaign, making their first sale, their first 10 sales, or the point in which you start to break even, I think that's a very crucial point in any business, they don't feel like they're achieving any kind of success and they don't have any sense of satisfaction because they compare it to the place that they want to get at. And they just think that where they are right now is just worthless and they discredit the thing that they're doing. And this causes a lot of people to quit. I've seen a lot of these cases, okay? So many cases like this, of people just becoming demotivated because they don't keep their progress in perspective. Now, all of this is not to say that you should not have a big general goal. I'm not saying it is a bad idea to have like a major goal of, okay, I want to eventually hit 100K a month. When I started out, I had one major goal for me, but I didn't put that much thought into it. It was more of like a North Star, just to visualize where is it that I'm going, okay? At least you need a general direction. That's why I wrote right here, like at least a 5.0, like there is something somewhere that we're aiming at. But it's not the main thing that we have in our brains. As I said, like 95% of the thing that you should be focusing on is just the immediate next thing. For me at that time, that North Star that I'm talking about, like the goal that I had, was to make $2,000 profit per day. Because before I started e-commerce, I thought realistically, what is an amount of money that I could be happy with and that would allow me to do almost anything that I want to do? What is that amount? And once I realized the amount, which is this one, that's the one that I always kept in my head. And eventually when I reached this goal, honestly, I was satisfied. I know that a lot of people say like, oh, you can never be satisfied with how much money you make or how strong you are or the women that you get, whatever, all of these things. I don't know, maybe it's my personality, but that's not my experience. I think you can 100% be satisfied with what you have if you set a goal that makes sense. Like if you think about what is actually the amount of money that I need for the things that I want to do in this life that I have. Now, I don't mean that once I reach this goal of making $2,000 per day profit, I just gave up and didn't care about it anymore. Yeah, for sure, I kept pushing and made more. But it was not like I had this burning desire inside of me to always keep taking these things to the next level and more and more and more. Even though I'm into business and money and all of that, I'm actually not that materialistic. So when I get money, it's not like I do that much with it anyways. And one thing that I think is ridiculous is that I see some guys online who think they cannot start to live their lives until they make like 10 million or 20 million or even more sometimes. And hey, to each their own, but I think it's ridiculous because you're taking the time that you have on earth for granted and also how many years you have left. I think life is very unpredictable, and if you're just waiting and waiting to start living your life until you have 20 million or more, I don't know, I think that's also a risk. Most of the cool things that you can do in life, they do not require you to have millions. Like 99.9% of all the cool human experiences that you can live, you don't need 20 million for. Yes, okay, maybe you cannot get a yacht or an airplane or whatever, but come on, like you can live most experiences. Most of the external things that I wanted to do in my life, I've already done, and now I'm pretty at peace. I don't have that many desires nowadays, funnily enough. But well, that's my personal experience. I know a lot of people who would disagree with what I'm saying right now. But anyways, we're getting off topic. If you need help scaling your business and you want to achieve similar things to the ones that I'm describing in this video right now, and you want me to help you figure out and look at your business and see how we could take it to the next level, you can DM me on Instagram, the word goals, and then we can talk. Okay, I'm gonna put the link to my Instagram in the description below this video or also the pinned comment. So go do that. Just DM me the word goals and we'll see how I can help you scale your business. And that's it for this video. I'll talk to you very soon. Take care. Have a great life. Peace.